Hey, this is Dan.
Bob.
And Dr. Aggro.
And Aggro, if you ever worry that you're too close to the mic, don't. Feel free to bring it on. Because I noticed I moved back, and then I saw you move back, and I'm like, no.
Yeah, no, I was just fucking with you.
And welcome to GigaBoots Podcast episode 10. What are we? 10? 10. I'm
Okay,
sticking with it.
I'll believe it.
Do we round now?
think
Is that
9 was
is that how we're doing this? 10-ish.
This is really half of an episode, but we're going to round up and call it a whole episode of the GigaBoots Podcast. So a lot of stuff happened, but that's not important. Bob, what you been playing?
I finished Tales of Xillia this week.
Cool.
It was pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. What else you been playing?
The Wonderful 101.
Okay, what else you been playing?
Some Grand Theft Auto 5.
Okay, what else you been playing?
Uh,
You played a lot of those free indie games.
Muramasa.
Oh yeah, wow. You get to play a lot of those indie games.
Yeah,
that we
I
got
can't
to-
remember the names of any of them except Racketeer.
Racketeer, Aces Wild, and Freedom Planet.
Freedom Planet,
Freedom
yeah.
I
Planet.
think Racketeer?
It's RCKTR.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. That's not your fault. Whoever named that game is a
right.
douchebag.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I'm like,
Racketeer.
like, there are a lot of words like that, but a racketeer is not a word.
You sure?
like there's racketeer, there's rocketeer,
Well,
there's raconteur, there's...
Well, I was on a message board once, and they said Racketeer.
is this in reference to, like, tennis-themed domestic abuse?
No. It was in reference to political things.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, so that's how you spell that, right? Racketeer?
RKTR, whatever.
Sure. So Aggro, what you been playing?
I have, apart from more Borderlands, I was sent to cardhunter.com.
Cardhunter.com.
It is. Somebody sent me the link, and I'm like, "Oh, good, some other fucking flash-based Korean card game. Nice." No, apparently, and I remember being told about this game months ago, but forgetting about it. Card Hunter is set up sort of like old school D&D. This whole motif. It's an in-browser game where you're playing old D&D modules, like straight up the mat. It's on a table. There are Cheetos and dice everywhere with little paper cutout figurines. But the mechanics are actually like Metal Gear Acid, where each of your three characters draws a hand of cards, and there's a move card, like you get a walk card and a run card, and like a shitty attack and a better attack. And you take turns playing those cards with the DM's monsters, and it's grid-based, card-based combat.
Cool.
Like, I don't think there's another mechanic you can cram in there to hybridize the most nerdy kind of gameplay. And when you beat everywhere you go is a little module, like the Wizard's Tower or like Kobold Cavern, and you 4 or 5 encounters and you beat the boss and you get loot. And you change out the items that your characters have, and it changes which cards they have in their deck. It's like the gameplay's solid. It's really fun. There's a high element of chance with the way armors work, and that can be frustrating when a bronze golem has 3 fucking armor cards on turn 1, and if I don't have a penetrating attack, I'm just fucked. But I love the writing. I love the humor in it, because you're in somebody's basement while he's DMing, and every now and then his older brother comes in, and his older brother is a total first edition uptight elitist nerd, and like you can the pay for money in this game is slices of pizza, which upholds the decades-old tradition of bribing your GM for special shit. I love this game.
So it's a completely free browser game?
Free to play in browser.
Now, see, there's free, and then there's free to play. Now, the phrase
yes.
free to play implies but.
Oh, sometimes, yes.
So
it
it's
is.
free to play now.
It is free.
Yes. we need better terminology
It
for
is
this.
free falling, is that correct?
Well, I mean, it's a long day living in Reseda. There's a freeway running through the yard.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I get this now.
Okay.
And a quick side note, It was the most amusing thing. I'm listening to the PlayStation blog. Welcome to the GigaBoots blog or podcast, where we talk about other podcasts, or at least I do.
I'm like, Bob, do you know what all this plural pronoun is about, dude?
I'm making you talk about it.
Okay.
You will.
I'm making you. I am in the middle of constructing you.
I will cease your being any second now if you defy me any further.
Oh yeah, let's drag that one out. No, you can't defy me. I created you.
So is that like making
Tell
evil
it to
robot
Georgia,
us's,
Russia.
or
No.
You are God, and you're like,
Yeah.
Too much ActRaiser will do this to a person.
What, I'm not? I'm not God? That explains a lot. But what was it? Sid Schumann, who's in charge of the PlayStation blog and community manager for PlayStation, called Diablo a roguelike. It is he does these things occasionally where he misuses a term or misuses a thing or just doesn't know who Macklemore is, like, in the middle of the podcast, so that the other guy will be like, I'll explain that to you afterwards. Like, he'll say that. And he did that this time, and then Sid just laughs. And he just goes, see, it's funny. I was talking to my friend Jeff Hubenstein the other day, and neither of us, we just hate the term roguelike because we're pretty sure no one who is using that term has actually played Rogue. And then the other guy's like, oh, shut up. And he's like, yeah, that's what I thought.
Damn.
He's like, just because of this, I'm going to go find a copy, Rogue. I'm going to play it. I'm going to send you a picture of it. So that way he feels entitled in calling things roguelike. That was really amusing. I was so...
Somebody failed a reflex save because that's a fucking burn.
But yeah, that was amusing as shit. So, have you been playing anything else, Aggro?
Oh, let's see. I have not been playing GTA 5 because I stopped caring about Grand Theft Auto. It's one of those things I'm like, man, that's probably going to be really fun. It's not a franchise I care about.
Yeah, 4 broke a lot of people.
yeah, San Andreas, then 4. That was just
I went straight from Vice City to 4.
Oh,
Which was kind of like coming from the 80s to the 90s.
No, it's more like 80s to the 2000s, if you ask me.
Oh.
Just everything's fabulous, and then everything's all like, why is everyone an asshole? Why don't you people do drugs?
Everyone
explains. No, they won. Those government bastards. But
I got to try Final Fantasy XIV
okay.
yeah?
for like 10 minutes.
Let me guess, my bro's copy.
Right.
Okay.
So I know it works. I know that you can still put awesome mustaches on Lalafell,
Okay.
which make them awesome.
Those are tiny little things.
Yes, the little ones. The guy who loaned me the copy was telling me there's a creepy thing that happens because like the Lalafell, they're the short race, but unlike the short race in a lot of games, they're actually proportioned like children. They're like a little chubby, kind of formless, and yet there are still full-size humanoid NPCs that discuss how hot certain Lalafell NPCs are.
Mm-hmm. Well, because in their world, that is normal.
Right, and I tried to have this discussion with them, like, I don't know, like, midgets deserve love too, Steve. They're still people. This isn't just, they're just little people.
You guys say this while my girlfriend's just running around. Like, you couldn't see her. There was a couch in the way. My girlfriend's not that short.
One thing I learned, or I heard secondhand on Twitter that I never really checked up on.
Yeah.
Warkana actually said this one, that when you apply any kind of damage or healing over time effect in this game, instead of queuing off of when it cast, the entire server has a universal clock on it, and everything ticks at the same time.
Oh, so...
Which is mechanically interesting.
That's weird.
It's very different.
I would like to see that occur.
I don't know whether like healing or damage would be applied first in that case. It may even queue off of like which one is applied first. I need to find more things out about that because that's playing every other MMO, especially WoW with its hots and dots, the way you work those, like this This is maddeningly fascinating.
If you're wondering what Aggro's face looks like right now, imagine Agent Smith when he's interrogating Lawrence Fishburne. I need to know how it works. I need out of here. Let's see, he's thinking that much sweat, that much squeezing his face.
Here's the thing about that scene. I need access codes to the Zion mainframe because all of the computers on Earth, formed this hive mind, and we apparently can't brute force your passwords.
Mm-hmm. Hey, man, look, the entire Matrix is full of very, very paper-thin, structure points. You shouldn't poke too hard. Oh man, I forget the name of the YouTube series, but it's where this guy proves a movie, quote, quote, proves a movie's bad by pointing out all of the logical flaws in it. And he just cuts an entire movie into 2 minutes to 3 minutes of him doing this.
Oh, is this the Everything Wrong With series?
Yeah.
I've not been a fan of that.
Me neither. But I think if he did that on the original Matrix, it would probably be 10 minutes long.
I don't know.
And a lot of it would be, wait, but you just showing different scenes.
I think I can make the Matrix make sense.
Yeah. Past the cows thing, you can make the Matrix make sense.
The cows thing?
Yeah, cows are way better for what they were using the humans for in the Matrix.
Oh, that. Yeah, that's the big hurdle.
That's just exactly. Well, the cows died. Oh, nice, good one. Let's toss out that plot.
It's not the most efficient way to do it, no, but it is the only way to do it that still maintains the first law of robotics.
But they didn't ever maintain the first law of robotics. There was a war. They killed humans.
Did they?
Yes. It's said in one of the Matrix and
one of those
Animatrix things.
Oh, are those completely on note?
Wachowskis
Yeah?
were working on that. That's why any of those make remote sense.
Okay.
Any, not all.
Right, it was like some of them were...
Then a man ran so fast, the machine had to take him down.
Yeah, that was awesome.
That was the worst one.
I know.
Even back in the day, I couldn't enjoy how bad it was. I was like, this is fucking stupid. Is this over yet?
Honestly, I think the Dream was worse for me because I have this thing about Peter Chung that I hate all of his animations.
Really?
Didn't
I
visually you just like the animation, or
yeah,
Okay.
I had a beef with Reign the Conqueror.
Everyone has a
Aeon
beef
Flux was brilliantly inventive, but Peter Chung just pissed me off when I was 14.
I thought that he did the running one.
Yeah, I thought he did the running one too because of all the muscles.
He may have, or that might have been IG.
It could have been either, but I don't. Whatever.
Right.
Does
Either
anyone
way.
own the Animatrix?
I do.
Okay, because I want to watch that again. It's been a really long time.
Yeah, every now and then I'm like, Final Flight of the Osiris. I don't want to see that CG again in case it's terrible.
It's
Now-
probably terrible.
Now I just want to see it because it's probably terrible.
I think the only one I enjoyed was that one that was just Ninja Scroll.
Yeah, that was
blatantly.
awesome. A quick rundown on CG. Reboot, well done, holds up. Beast Wars, really silly, but still fun to watch.
And that's all the CG ever. Thanks for joining the GigaBoots top 2 CGs.
That was all
The
that
intro
mattered.
sequence to Final Fantasy VII.
Nope,
Nope.
no one cares.
No.
It's not even a thing. Oh, okay.
No one remembers
I have
that.
projected my not caring about Final Fantasy VII onto all of humanity.
Wow.
It's how I get through my
You just
day.
don't care
No.
at all. You can't.
I
Not even the
tried.
scene where Eris dies.
Nah.
Okay, well, how about this? And then I pull out a piano and I'm like, doom, doom, doom. And then you're just welling up with tears. It's too much.
I honestly never got that far.
Even my stone cold heart.
I had it spoiled for me early on, and then I was with a guy who was playing it. When he's like, "This is weird. What? I'm only on disc whatever, and I got her ultimate weapon. That's really unusual." I'm like, "Oh,
I think I covered this on the podcast before, but I had the most realistic death sequence for her, where I just come home from school one day and she's gone, and I go, "Where is she, Steve?" "Oh, she's dead." "Well, why don't you use a Phoenix down?" "Oh, I can't. They completely killed her." And I just had to deal with that.
oh my god."
And a lot of people are like, oh, you didn't see it happen. I'm like, but see, that's the thing. That's how death works. Not everyone you know is standing around as you die.
Like, you didn't get the soft piano float away, Cloud killed her because she was only paralyzed and unconscious scene. You came home and she was suddenly gone.
Yeah.
Nice.
And that's life. Have you played anything else?
Oh, I started playing League again. That's basically it.
You sick bitch. Okay. So I have played Freedom Planet, which we're going to talk about later. We got access to an alpha, which I brought up in last week's episode, and it's fabulous. More so because we're one of the few people who have it, and we get to hold it over everyone else's head. But no, really,
Wow. That's really in the spirit of things.
Oh yeah, Merry Christmas. We can't film it until the next version. Like, we're not authorized to
Is this
record
too
it.
racist?
Yeah,
Oh.
it's got popo everywhere. It's fucking terrible.
Oh, damn.
I didn't know
Did they
that
at least
blackface could wear blackface, but
But they did it.
Was it Kai where they made him blue?
Yes,
oh god.
in the States, they made him blue and Kai.
Oh, yeah.
God. In any case, I also got to play Aces Wild, which I need to play more of. I think Bob has actually played more of that game than me now, which isn't even a whole lot.
That was probably maybe 10 minutes at most.
I think it was a little bit longer than that, but yeah, because I played it for about 5 or 10. I didn't get the controller up and running because it's a PC game. To vaguely describe Aces Wild real quick, you get to choose from 3 different characters, which are anime as hell. Mm-hmm. And it is a side-scrolling beat-em-up, sort of, except for you have freedom of movement, and it's a beat-em-up. So you're just sort of flying up into the air to rapidly punch dudes and uppercut them anime style. It's pretty awesome. I was trying to remember the name of that guy with the fucking sword. That was hilarious. It was like Eagle something. Like, they all have ridiculous names. It's delightful. But in any case, so I played Aces Wild, Freedom Planet. I didn't play Rocketeer. I looked at you play Rocketeer because I was playing Grand Theft Auto 5, which Kyle, Aggro.
Yeah.
We're gonna bleep that out.
You keep saying that.
And I never have.
Right?
Burger Boss.
What?
What? That's not your nick. Oh god. I should listen to you guys
What?
actually talk and not what Kadan edits in.
I'm going to turn to the left now. What?
I have no idea what he's talking. So about Grand Theft Auto
You and
5.
me are going to have a talk later.
Grand Theft Auto 5. Yeah, I hated 4, just thoroughly. There's so much latency; it was impossible to drive. And then playing the game as a whole was a complete joyless procedure. Because of that, it's basically like you're holding someone's arm. It's almost like I'm holding someone's arms so they can hold the controller so they can hit the buttons. There's a certain latency there, and it just doesn't feel good at all.
You just need real skill, bro.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
The fact that every human
First
being
degree
has...
separation arm gaming is where the hardcores play.
Oh, yeah, because it's Zen, right? Because it's Zen.
No, it's zombie.
I hate you. But yeah, Grand Theft Auto 5 solves that, and the entire game seems way more on key with, oh, this is a game that's supposed to be full of shit and fun. So we're not going to have people call you up and harass you to do stupid shit constantly. You're not going to lose points for ignoring them. Like, and there was so much crap like that in 4 that was fucking miserable. I'm like, holy shit, can this game be full of a little bit of fun? Like, the story even carries itself in a more humorous, fun way this time. Whereas last time it's like, I'm Nico Bellic, I'm in America, oh, you're an asshole, everything's sad and depressing. This isn't at all what I wanted.
There was like a huge disconnect between what you were doing out of mission and on mission for too. Like it was so serious that like I didn't even want to go do the crazy things you do in Grand Theft Auto because like Nico wouldn't do that. He's
right. That was a big problem with GTA 4 of like what they did, how they did it was beautiful. It was just not what anyone wanted to buy a GTA game to do.
So this one is much improved in absolutely every way you can imagine, and one of the prettiest games on the PS3. Like, they did a banged-up job spending $263 million on its development and marketing, and they made $800 million on day one.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, no surprise there.
Didn't it set a record for day one sales?
It beat Black Ops 2. I remember that.
Okay. Yeah, so that's fun and stuff. You really should give it the time of day.
Right.
As someone who played 4 and said never again, which is exactly where Bob and I sat, which is why we don't own a copy, right? You didn't just
I didn't
buy
it. No.
Okay, you didn't like change your mind after playing and go, I don't know, I love leaping into shit. Speaking of which, best feature in the game, hands down. Hands down, this is a limitless source of entertainment. You know in a Grand Theft Auto when you run up against the wall and you hit jump and he just jumps in place and plays the whole animation?
Right.
He'll slam into it, go, ah, and then fall to the ground. And this will happen if, like, you try to leap over a bush and miss and it clips your ankle. So you'll be like, ah! It's just hilarious non-stop. One time I was running down my steps in Michael's story. I'm running down the steps of his house, 2-story house, and I go to leap, but I leapt too soon, and the overhang clips my head, and he's like, ah!
My favorite was still we're on a pier, and we were running down to jump off the pier, and he like catches his foot on the
plank.
Yeah, he just tumbles into the water as his son yells, "Dad, no!"
It just looks like he straight up trips. There was no jump or anything. He went to jump, he missed, and he just tumbled off of the pier. Dad, no!
Dad, no! You're going to destroy the whole planet, Father!
It's just, it's the game's really, really fun, and the guy you're playing as is actually properly written as a remorseful psychopath, so it completely makes sense that you're going off and doing these completely fucking crazy things, and then he's just like, I wish my life was normal. Meanwhile, the other guy that we experienced,
Franklin.
Franklin, I was like, it starts with an F. Franklin is in the hood and shit, so all of his people he knows are very, very ingrained in that culture, and you can tell he just doesn't want to be a part of it, but he is, regardless of what he can do. It's really...
Since I have no mental image for this character, I'm imagining Franklin Turtle with an AK.
Okay. Sure. Why not? So yeah, Grand Theft Auto 5, give it the time of day. That's a box quote, just stick that in. Grand Theft Auto 5, you should give it the time of day. What else did we play? We didn't play Dragon's Crown.
No, we didn't.
I'm going to be playing in a week. I have 3 weeks off from work, whatever that game entails. I don't know what I'm going to do during that time. I'm probably not even going to show up for the podcast. This equipment's just going to be in your house. You're going to receive an email or something that's like, record a podcast. Fuck you guys, I'm on vacation.
Huh.
You just show up in my shed and I'm like, God damn it, guys. Can we just pretend you don't know where I am? Can we do this, please?
I'm asleep.
Sleep for 3 weeks straight.
Dan, please wear pants. I am wearing pants. Dan, please wear pants where pants actually go.
Yeah, what was it? Something cool I want you guys to check out. Thomas Hopper sent me a video work in progress of his next PlayStation mobile game that he's been working on for a couple months. And he just wanted some feedback on it. Mm-hmm. So he sent a 20-minute gameplay video narrated by him to explain the mechanics and things and just wants some feedback. And, I'm going to give him feedback, but I thought it'd be cool if you guys looked at it and gave your opinion. The thing is, it's like called, what was it? Super Poker Tank? So it's like a strategy game, turn-based, like Advance Wars, say something like that, where it's all tank-based stuff. Except for when you go to battle, you actually, based on, like, say you shoot them from ahead or behind, that advantage you get actually plays into how many chips you have on your side or what it costs you when you lose. So then it just deals two hands of poker to you and your opponent. And then you have to choose what you're holding and then flush it and get a whole new hand.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's just really, really weird. I'm like, no one's ever done this. Huh.
I've never been good at poker at all.
Really?
Or even known the rules that much.
How could you... I mean, you get... Okay, check it out, right? You get a pair. Now, if somebody has a pair that's smaller than... Okay.
You need a bigger pair to play poker, Bob.
So we're going to go ahead and knock this out of the way now. Bob, what is your opinion of Wonderful 101?
It's interesting.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Is that like she has a great personality?
Yes.
kind of?
Actually, no, exactly.
Yeah.
Because I've been she has a great personality. I've been down that road, and this is that road as a game, as a $60 game.
I mean,
Yeah.
it goes a lot smoother when I'm not incredibly tired. Like,
Right.
that game is something you need the utmost concentration for. And I feel like there's a lot of elements that don't even need to be there that just overly complicated. Like,
And then
and
even
it's
more
visually
so,
like a mess because there's so many little guys you're trying to dodge things with. And
Yeah.
You were saying?
I just, with the game, and I think, like, this is ultimately how I view it, the best part is wholly separate from the gameplay mechanics. Whereas in a game like Revengeance and stuff, I don't think the best part is the cutscenes or the funny banter. I think the best part is cutting everything into a billion pieces and being super Sugoi badass.
Right.
And Bayonetta, same deal. I think the best part is when her hair becomes a giant fist and it pounds God into the sun.
True.
But with Wonderful 101, I always found like, oh, Bob's playing the gameplay part. Time to...
Right.
Because...
Yeah, that's what I got from the trailers.
Yeah, so... Sad.
I'm gonna play through it. Maybe there's some point where there's a breaking point and it all clicks. I don't know.
They're gonna like make an anime of this, right?
I don't think so.
No.
Bob
Yeah.
was telling me that originally it was going to be Nintendo characters,
Yeah, it
which
was originally-
makes so much more sense
Huh.
as a Nintendo product.
they.
as Aggro stares at the case and just ponders.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Like that is because that product is now so completely like tokusatsu in my head. But how would you, who'd have the sword that?
Well,
What?
Link, obviously.
Obviously. Obviously.
And then Mario would punch stuff.
That's what he does in the games.
That's right.
It's like Captain Falcon
Like
punched things.
No. Super Mario RPG, you punch like 90% of the enemies in the game. It's like bam, 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 bam.
No jumping in that game.
No?
No.
No. See, well, there you go. He would have to be the punching guy.
No, there is jumping in that game.
Oh, okay.
I was saying no jumping in Mario
There
RPG.
is jumping
Yeah, I
in
know
Mario
there
RPG.
is.
What? It said stop lying!
fucking
Being
minutes that I know.
sarcastic.
I was being. It was a
sarcastic.
No, that's lying!
Are there onions on this? No.
I was being sarcastic. Is this the turn? No.
I have a severe peanut allergy.
One interesting thing in Wonderful 101 was the character with the whip is from Transylvania. And I was like, okay, that's good.
Cool.
Oh, okay.
That's where they come from.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So, I think that's everything I played. I can't remember the last the last off week. This is why we do these things on Wednesday. These are two wholly different forms for Daniel. I wiped the memory of the last form because if I was aware how awesome the last week was in the middle of my work week, I would quit my job. I'd be like, I want that to be every day.
Yep.
Living the dream.
Yeah, living the hobo dream.
Every now and then you think, I wonder how long I could go before anyone realized I quit my job.
Yeah.
How much savings have you built up is usually
Right?
the answer to that
Yeah.
question.
How many days in a row are you willing to just be out of the house all day? Just sitting in a park, it's really hot. You know, I could be at work right now.
See, they're so unaware of the shed. I realized at some point because everyone's constantly asking, like, "Oh, do you work today?" No, I've been off for 2 days and stuff like that. I'm like, they would have no idea. On a somewhat related note, I also started editing the next episode of the Video Game Years, that show we do over at Retroware.
Right.
So that's cool.
We do it, right?
Yeah.
No, yeah, oh yeah.
We make it that one
That's
for 'em.
you. Thanks, Bob.
It's like XP all. We're getting like one each.
No. No, not even a lucky egg.
Oh.
Not even. So that video for Pokemon.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wish they would just shut up about the game until it came out.
I was like, the only thing I actually wanted confirmation of was, okay, there's actually character customization
Yeah.
on a larger scale. Like,
Yeah,
no,
but
knowing that
here's
that's
the
even
thing.
in there.
I would have bought the game.
Yeah.
Right? I would have preferred to experience that firsthand instead of here's a video showing us dress up characters. And I'm like, you guys already sort of went with the whole you can customize things. I really don't need this video. You're kind of killing my buzz here. It's like, here's how sex is going to be, and 8 videos release in the next 10 minutes as I get my pants off.
It's called pornography, Dan. This is a thing that really happens.
But see, I don't know about you.
You wanna?
What?
I don't know. That just kind of came out there.
And we're gonna take a break. Bob, you mentioned something during the break you wanted to... Wow, you forgot already.
Yeah, I know. I was like, man, what was I going to talk about?
God damn it. It was probably something to do with Tokyo Game Show.
Yeah. Well, something else for Tokyo Game Do they announced the Bayonetta anime.
What? Sega, right? Sega, is it Sega?
It is Sega. I'm like, how did
that work out?
I don't know.
Man,
someone asked Kamiya about it on Twitter, and if he was involved, and he's like, "Well, we talked about it a lot, but I'm not directly involved, so I don't."
Great.
Yeah.
Was he? No, he wasn't involved with the Devil May Cry anime.
No.
Who do you know if anyone from the development of that game was involved?
I doubt it.
We go look it up. Johnny Young Bosch directed it.
I guess he at least worked on one of the games. Is a voice actor.
And motion capture. Yeah. He knows the spirit of the guy who wasn't even in the anime. Man, that would have been weird if he just showed up.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Nero. Like fucking that American in Yakitate. Just fucking pasted face, always facing towards perspective. Hi, I'm Nero. I love that guy. Oh man, Yakitate is probably the best anime ever. Anyone who disagrees can
probably is. Honestly. Pound for pound.
Pound for pound. So podcast over? We're good? We're done? Okay.
I guess.
See you guys later. Way to not remember, Bob.
Yeah.
This is all on you.
Well, I did get to mess with the 2DS.
Oh.
How was that?
It's interesting. I mean, it's really light. Like, I don't think that just looking at that weight thing, you wouldn't guess, oh man, this doesn't feel like anything in my hands.
I would.
Yeah.
It's called understanding the distribution of weight over a large surface instead of outside of your hands. That's why the 3DS feels heavy, because it's got a giant sack of shit on top that isn't in your hands, whereas this is, thinly spread out.
It's a wedge.
Plus, apparently, most of the weight is the fact it's just one screen in there, covered by plastic.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
What? That's how this is cheaper.
Yeah, it's...
Because here's the crazy thing. We've entered a new age in electronics where getting one large display and figuring out how to make that work for your piece of tech is way cheaper than getting 2 smaller screens.
No, like that I'm cool with. That jives. That makes sense. What I'm saying, like, there are a lot of DS experiences where they have the picture split over 2 screens, and some of them account for the space between the screens. Some of them seem to not. So we had the opportunity to just make it like one big-ass screen in the middle, and we didn't.
Well, no, we don't, because the hardware isn't going to fill those pixels. Yeah, no. But I'm pretty sure they spaced it so that way it would match up with the others.
Right.
So what I hear is that it was smaller than your worst fears.
Yeah, it is a lot smaller than you might think. I mean, where it's a square, it's still pretty big, but I mean, it's not like huge.
Right. They did have those comparison images.
Yeah, I think that the worst design choice on it is the D-pad and the L button. If you're using the D-pad,
just the L button,
reaching all the way up to the L button, because the D-pad's now since it's one big thing, the L button's all the way on top, and you have to move your thumb all the way down to below the analog stick.
Oh, right, because that thing's there.
Yeah. It's really weird.
So-
I keep
Now, is it
hearing
still
like
that slider or is it an actual analog?
it's a slider.
It's not going in my pocket. It's not folding, so fuck it. Put an analog stick on it.
And the weird thing is, I keep having
Nice.
or people tell me, "Oh, this is the thing made for kids, and it's like super designed for kids." And I'm like, no, this is just clearly super cheap.
Yeah,
it's-
this is the Pokemon adapter.
Everyone on the internet decided that this was sincerely for children, so then everyone else said that. It's the internet echo chamber
Yeah,
effect.
it's
Good, they had
insane
a
because
kid
I'm like,
in the commercial. That's what happened.
Yeah.
I mean,
That must be for kids. Yeah, kids in it. Yeah, just like My
yeah.
Little Pony.
It's a fucking Game Boy. Yeah, it's for kids.
It's for the largest demographic, whoever the fuck. It's now even
Which is-
cheaper, so it's for more of whoever the fuck.
Is there a purpose for them saying that? Like, oh, well, this is designed for kids.
I just,
So the fuck, what thought comes after that? What is your point? This is designed for kids, so I don't want one. This is designed.
This is for designed for kids, so it's not for me. It literally is them protecting themselves emotionally from Nintendo is making things for people who aren't me.
Wow.
Yeah. These people are the most disgusting emotional piles of shit. I hope we get the best comments on this podcast. Welcome to the GigaBoots podcast. You into things? I'll tell you how you're a dumbass.
This thing's designed for kids. I'm gonna play fucking Pokemon on on a real 3D.
Son, sit on down! Check out my laptop-sized 3DS. This is a man's Pokemon adapter. Let me just punch the shit out of these face keys. Lean into turning with the stick.
I will never forget. Years after the DS Lite came out, Eric sits down with his original gray DS and plays fucking Meteos. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it was
The
supposed-
last 3 years were a dream.
That's the fucking scary thing. He's still like that. He's coming back like in the next couple of days, Eric. Which for the like, if you're an Uber GigaBoots fan, you may actually know who this fucker is.
You may actually have a brain parasite.
What? What have you been doing?
Just saying, they're both statistically equally as likely.
Oh, man, that's a good point. So there's got to be
That's
some.
how statistics work, right?
Yeah, there's some correlation there.
It's just like that one guy.
But yeah, he's coming back. He still doesn't own a PS3, 360, anything. And he's gaming on a laptop. So yeah, it's still effectively. He's playing Meteos on his DS, I bet, on the trip back.
God bless him getting a laptop, because that was the random happenstance that let me try Bastion for 10 minutes and go, holy shit, I need to buy this game.
Speaking of which, did you buy that game?
What, Bastion?
Yeah.
Shit, yeah, I bought Bastion.
Apparently, I own it. I haven't played it.
Well, fuck.
I know it's amazing. Your refrigerator just totally dropped some shit.
all right.
Yeah,
It's an adult.
so they're like, oh yeah, Transistor, what? From the guys who made Bastion. Oh shit!
Yeah, like I fully understand.
Got one
the
of those
weight
total
of
fanboy
that.
reactions.
That was kind of like what everyone did for what's it? Let's all go to the
Rapture.
Rapture. Yeah, that's basically what happened at
Right,
Gamescom
yeah.
when they announced that.
That'll do
Everyone's
that.
like, oh shit! And I'm like, okay, so yeah, it's the next game by them. What's so major? Oh, that was supposed to be PC. Oh, it's now exclusive PS4.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was an oh shit moment.
Yeah.
Hey guys, we here's some small indie games from us. We're really interested in making this game, so we're gonna hopefully get started on that sometime soon for you guys. Comes back. When I said you guys,
You guys all
really
have
meant-
PS4s, right?
I meant vaguely. Like, here's the thing: the pre-order numbers on PS4 are so fucking massive. Like, they're fucking nuts. Some guy wrote into the Giant Bomb who worked as the electronics manager at Target.
Right.
He had the numbers for all of his stores for the pre-orders. It was somewhere like they got 10 slips for PS4 and 8 for Xbox One. Right.
Okay.
His store got 5 pre-orders on the PS4 sold and given out. 0 on the Xbox One. All of the stores are like that. Almost all of the PS4 ones are gone at most of the stores. Like 8 to 10 of them are sold. 0 on Xbox One. Maybe 1 or 2.
Now, this could be
Wow.
anomalous
Yeah.
to people who shop at Target.
No. Bob told us some numbers a while ago, and those were pretty also weighed in the advantage.
Yeah,
like
it was
2/3 of them.
2-1 for most of
Yeah.
most stores.
We're now going to find new ways to say 2/3. 2/3.
We've
2 to
still
1.
got a couple of months. This is some grassroots polling shit.
I don't.
I think everyone stopped pre-orders. I don't know if they're gonna continue or ever renew them.
That Target situation is an anomaly. Like, they're the only people with pre-orders that I know of because both Kmart and Walmart are gone.
Huh.
I don't know who pre-orders from either of those places, but whatever.
I didn't know Kmart could pre-order.
Yeah.
That's weird.
I don't trust Kmart.
Right?
I've been
They're
to my
probably
Kmart.
gonna be like
I know
one,
the people
one
who-
PS4 that you have to kill the other 5 pre-orders for.
Here you go.
That's how Warcraft expansions work.
throws a knife in the middle of the crowd.
I know a bunch of people whose stories are, so I went to go get Burning Crusade, but I didn't pre-order it, so my girlfriend sewed somebody her tits, and we snuck in the back, and I got a copy.
We now need to go to the game store we can film at and actually have, guys, we only have one PS4. Throws knife in the crowd. Go.
We are gonna have tryouts. Who wants to come to the LAN party? Who really wants it?
That is kind of like that. What that's all about. Like, you tell everyone you have a plan, and they're okay. We have one PS4. You say we don't know if we have any PS4s, and that's when chaos.
Everyone else has to take home a copy of Red Steel.
In their tombstone? I don't.
The guy, like,
On a blown up boat?
I think you only have to kill one guy to win that knife fight. Maybe. I don't think you have to stab everybody. You get to a certain, like, cutoff point. If you've killed enough people with that knife that everyone else is like, maybe I won't take my chances.
May I take Red Seal and go home?
Maybe I can wait a week and come back and try to buy the system then.
Yeah.
But also, I might be able to kill him and get it now. There's always that in the back of your head.
Like, you wake up in the morning, and if you don't, like, when you're in a knife fight,
Okay.
if you didn't know you were, like, if you didn't know there was a good chance you were gonna be in a knife fight that day, your day has taken a turn for the surreal. Like, usually, by the time you're in a knife fight, your life choices have led up to a point where knife fight probability is high. Now, you're standing in line to pick up a system you pre-ordered,
going on?
and suddenly, you're in a knife fight. You take a step back. You rethink your priorities.
Hey, real quick. This is just me, maybe. I don't know. I think I'm speaking from the larger experience of people who've gone to console launches. I anticipate a knife fight.
That's why you bring a gun to the knife fight.
Yep.
There's a phrase I use.
T-shirt gun.
Whenever I watch anime,
Never
that
get
really informs my opinion of a lot of its writing. That I think is applicable to console launches. Interestingly enough, it's a good thing I brought this gun. Seriously, watch Rurouni Kenshin. Every time someone ends a sentence, just think, it's a good thing I brought this gun. The entire Kyoto arc is so much better. Like, oh my god, he's using this technique. It's a good thing I brought this gun. My legs are pretty fucked up. I don't know if I can beat him. It's a good thing I brought this gun.
Changing topics. Yeah, but the whole point of that last thing was basically saying that, I think Microsoft has really screwed themselves here.
Yeah, it's interesting.
I think, like, because if there was enough of a fanboy thing, 1 second, Bob, now I know you watched Ouran High Host Club. You should know to lower the glass down with your pinky underneath it.
I actually did not watch Ouran High School Host Club.
What?
I didn't.
You know the school's implied.
Oh, is it?
Ouran High Host Club.
It's what?
Ouran High Host Club. The school is implied. In the title? Yeah.
Yeah.
He said school. I was just informing him.
Well,
that.
because he's clearly an ignorant savage who's never seen
Right, I should
Ouran
never
Host
reason
Club.
with him.
Bob, what the fuck were you doing that year?
Masturbating furiously 24/7.
I can't.
This is the best year
So
of my
was
life.
I, but that's because I was watching Ouran High Host Club.
Hi, welcome to GigaBoots.com. This is the cisgender heteronormative gaming podcast. with your host, Dan, surrounded by what is possibly not cisgender heteronormative co-hosts.
That's so
Bob and Aggro.
heteronormative.
That's I would love for that to become a thing, because it would become parodical of the sort of, every time I hear that phrase, it's never actually, never mind, I'm not going to get into that. I'm really not going to go down that road. But in any case, but yeah, on our next topic, Bob, how you feeling?
I guess I'm okay. What's up?
Oh, that's good. No, that was it.
That was it?
Sometimes you just want to know how your friend feels. Never with you, Aggro.
No.
You never want to know how your friend feels.
I never want to know how you two feel, and it's really irresponsible for you guys to want to know how I feel at any given moment.
I mean, you're an exception. I never want to know how you feel, ever.
It's like, I wonder how Aggro feels, and then just like the camera pans up and to the left a little bit, blurs out, and you hear the sound of fire and a villager screaming. Oh, maybe I should just go and not do that.
I wish I had the body of an 8-year-old girl.
What would you do with it?
Aggro, that sentence lives with me every
Right?
day of my life. Like, that's some shit.
that is some shit.
Your mom should never say that.
No. My mother is a weird, foul-mouthed creature.
But yeah, so Sony announced that at a point in the future, the HDMI output of the PS4 when playing games will not have HDCP. For those who don't know, that is the high definition copyright protection protocol, and that prevents people from
high
using
bandwidth digital copyright protection.
high bandwidth. HDCP.
I think there was a hyphen, so it was high bandwidth is one thing.
What?
Yeah.
Whatever. In any case,
Looking it up.
you do that. Feel free. And then when on that wiki page, you can see how this is all Intel's fault.
Yeah.
I love how it's on the wiki page and no one is blaming the correct people. They're like, our capture cards can't record things with HDCP. Sony, you need to fix your console. And I'm like, or Intel should stop being assholes. Just saying, if Intel would stop sucking the movie industry's dick.
Yeah.
Which they do really hard. Like, you have no idea how many... What?
I was right.
What? Okay, no.
What?
The whole wiki page is now meaningless because it's wrong.
Yeah.
Yep. Because I can never be wrong. Just ask any of my girlfriends.
Huh.
But yeah, so Sony announced at a future point in time there will not be HDCP on video game output via HDMI, which is the only output on the PS4.
Right.
The fact that people care this much either shows that they are truly, truly, truly stingy, or they literally have not investigated this for even 10 seconds to figure out that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Because it's a pretty
Yeah,
well-known
you
thing.
Get like a $20 workaround, but
Yeah.
it's really cool to not have to buy an extra piece of equipment to strip out some
There are actually
pointless bullshit.
benefits that would be like a really good thing for, like, when I screw with the settings on the capture card software and the TV keeps like, and then like the audio keeps fucking up in our ears, you get a splitter and that never happens. You've also removed the latency of doing the throughput through the capture card. So there are benefits that are definitely there for each and every person who does this sort of thing. And I can understand somebody... You know what? No, I'm gonna say I don't really side with any of them. I'm okay with Sony sticking HDCP on their console.
Interesting.
Because that's kind of... They have their hands in too many pots. They're a Blu-ray player. To some extent, you have to abide by a certain set of rules. For example, past a certain year, the PS3 could not output HD Blu-ray footage via component. Newer models couldn't. Yeah, that was a part of being a part of the Blu-ray consortium. So, yeah... Too many companies doing too many things. I have to sit here, because here's the thing, right? I understand what you said of like they would rather not. Yeah, that would be fine if they were like, "Hey, Sony, can you cut that out?" That's not what they did.
Oh yeah, no.
Everyone.
No,
fucking,
this is the best form of the argument. Those fuckers on the internet, no.
Yeah, they're just up in arms. Sony is so fucking corporate sellout douchebags. Fuck them. How dare they have HDCP? Don't they realize we support the community? And it's like, holy shit, in the amount of time you've been upset about this, you could have found a solution and immediately stopped giving a shit. Like I did a week and a half ago when it first came up. Because I'm like, whatever, no matter what Sony does now, I'm fucking covered. Because regardless, at the end of the day, like, I'm not sure they get this. Regardless, at the end of the day, guys, your problem's going to be with the video game publishers, not Sony or Intel. Or any of them. It's going to be with Sega, it's going to be with Konami, it's going to be with EA. If they're making a claim on your video, that's that. It's not, someone's gonna sue you because you recorded a video game. No, it's gonna be, they contact YouTube because they're so fucking lazy they can't even properly litigate you. And they're just like, YouTube, take this shit down. YouTube's like, all right, bro. And they high five because they're fucking all corporate inbred assholes.
YouTube's really excited that the cool kids are talking to him, so he's just going to do whatever the fuck.
He will do whatever the fuck. And the worst part is you guys think this guy's cool. Everyone's like, yeah, YouTube's the place to be. I make lots of money on YouTube. I'm like, yeah, that's like saying you make a lot of money sucking dick. Can't you, like, go do it on Blip and not come off as a suck ass? What the fuck ass? But yeah, I can't get people being this upset about it. I can understand people being like, Sony, you know, maybe you worked this out, which is what they're doing now. But you know, and I know, or at least I know, and I think you know, that at launch day, when it doesn't, like when the HDCP is still there because they haven't figured out a way to set a setting where you can disable that, people are going to be furious.
Yeah.
Because they can't read. Sony, we said we would soon. We said we would tell you when we figured out how.
Like, bitch, we said you're going to be able to put wallpapers on your PS3. That shit didn't happen for years. We're still working on that 7-way video chat during gameplay shit, all right? We're working on it. 10-year life cycle.
Oh, wow.
Man, I
That's
wish...
how long the console's going to be relevant? No, that's how long it's going to take for all the features to come out.
Yes. Dude, I wish...
The second HDMI for appears one day.
Oh, yeah. Second model of the PS4 is going to have a second HDMI port that only works when you're in a game.
Huh.
What's up?
I have a lot of... I received a text message.
Uh-huh.
And I have a lot of contacts in my phone that start with the word the. And on iOS 7, when I get a text message, it just tells me it's from the. Because it assumes that's their first name.
You may have put that in as their first name. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. So,
During TGS, they also showed off PS Vita TV doing streaming from PS4.
yes.
And they said that they're using the DualShock 3 now, but they confirmed that the PS4 controller will work.
Right. They even showed that off in that video. The first video with the PS Vita.
Huh.
Yeah. I hate people.
The Vita TV, you mean?
Yeah, yes,
Yeah,
the
okay.
PS Vita TV. Yeah. They just...
You're distinct from the future. You don't know what this is yet, but I'm using it to play the Vita.
Do we have any numbers on latency on that thing at all?
No, they keep using the phrase lag-free.
Right.
But we've been hearing shit like that on everything forever.
Yeah,
It's
but-
complete 1-to-1. I don't think you understand how physics works.
Well, the move is complete 1-to-1, so fuck you. Nothing on the Wii is, so fuck that. But no, when they first showed off the PS Vita TV, which is the full title, you have to say it like a Tribe Called Quest.
You don't
They
ever
show-
have to say a Tribe Called Quest.
They show off you could use the DualShock 4 with it because he was in the other room
Right.
playing. Yeah, and so many people didn't notice, but whatever. That's because they should have watched the conference compressed for the Sony Computer Entertainment Japan pre-Tokyo Game Show conference on GigaBoots.com or just GigaBoots channel. Okay, I have posted that on the site. Okay. I always do that where I'm like, wait, did I post that on the site? But it was yes this once.
Ah.
So, now it's tricky. Now I can't depend on things not being there.
It's not like the podcast is going to be on the website anyway.
Yeah, no. Not for another 3 podcasts. What else? Well, I was going to say with the Gaikai tech, they had multiple networks, centers set up across the U.S. to be close to the individual to play the game. And they did a much better job than OnLive with the latency thing because of the way they structured that and the way they removed latency. And that latency was tolerable. It was maybe like 2-3 frames, whatever. So getting it from one side of a room to another with the same dedicated processing chips is actually, that's pretty fucking easy. I would imagine the full latency is under, it's well under what your average HD TV is. Like your average HD TV adds multiple frames.
Yeah, I figured the hardware was capable of it. It's just, it's the sort of thing that sometimes will just be fucked up spectacularly. Just out of nowhere. Why is this broken? Looking at you, Lair.
And they also said that there's going to be, for the Gaikai streaming service, a library of PS3 games releasing when they do it.
I mean, they already announced that too.
Which they said that they'll have a lot, but I don't know. They didn't seem like they were as specific before this.
Well, they were saying it was going to roll out much like PS1 games, where it's, the Gaikai service for backwards compatibility has launched. You can now buy these PS3 games, which I'm not sure that's going to pay out. I'm not sure how many people are like, sure, I would love to buy these games again.
The way it was worded, it sounded like you'll have access to the library, and it was some parallel to Netflix. There. I saw even Yoshida himself said Netflix.
Yeah, I saw some reference to Netflix,
and that would be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if that's their model, but I'm not sure that's... Maybe they were trying to get across the technologies like Netflix. I'm going to wait till they say something definitive like, you pay this fee and you get these catalog of PS3 games, because the word catalog doesn't literally mean it all comes together, and I do believe they would misphrase something by that much.
It's possible.
I'm a very literal person. When Sony says in the future, I am positive it's not at launch.
Right.
When they say, Gaikai is going to have a catalog of PS3 games, I always assume a la carte. Because how would Sony even be able to... I mean, they could. PlayStation Plus has been spectacular, but there's no way they can do the online multiplayer, the game catalog that they're currently doing. What's the term for that again? Instant game collection. They can't do the instant game collection, the online multiplayer, and just fucking free PS3. Hey guys, we spent billions of dollars making this network infrastructure the fastest in the world in the US exclusively, and we did it to give you free games.
Just send us how much you think it's worth. Like, no. This shit worked in that Radiohead album. It's not gonna hold water here.
I got a dog turd.
Sony's like, please visit our Kickstarter for a thing we already did.
Yeah, so I'm not sure how well that's gonna turn out.
Right.
I mean, the worst problem here, I think, and I'm perfectly okay. I encourage everyone on the internet to counter this argument. This has been the worst generation ever. And I don't think going forward that we'll want to revisit it. Because, we just had the bottom and the middle fall out and generic AAA galore. We had so few titles that were actually of variety, let alone quality at launch day. It's just, I think the 7th generation of consoles was the worst generation. I think we did a lot better with PS2. So I don't know how many people are going to be like, yeah, Assassin's Creed 1 through 4, 3. I'm going to buy those to own
Still
digitally
got some
via
good
the
titles.
internet.
Sure. I agree with the worst gen, but yeah, there are some interest, there are points of interest.
Yeah, but I don't think that's a major sell. That's the worst use of the Gaikai network, in my opinion. I don't think they're going to at all make a terrible lot of money off of selling PS3 games back to people. I think they would probably make more money just releasing more PS1 games, as sad as that sounds.
Yeah, because every time there are more PS1, yes, more PS1 games. It seems like this bottomless pit of interesting... What the fuck is this game? I don't even know. What's going on? Who the fuck cares?
There should be a bundle. every PS1 game.
Jesus Christ.
$3,000, thank you.
Are you ready to not have a life anymore? Because that seriously is. You set
Yes,
that shit to
yes, I am.
you set that shit to shuffle, and the PS1 library will kill your brain.
Just so we're clear.
I remember that thing I was going to say earlier.
Well, hold on to it for
I will
a second.
try.
Forget it again.
You whisper it to Aggro. Do it. Whisper it to Aggro so he can remember for you.
Breath of Fire producer.
Dude, the fucking mic picked that up.
You know how to whisper.
You are Breath of Fire producer. But in any case, like the better use of the Gaikai network, I think, is engendering people to buy more PS4 games because they can access it anywhere, which seemed to be their larger goal, anyways. If you noticed, they were talking about how you can use the DualShock 4 on your phone via the PlayStation app.
Huh.
So we are the Gaikai thing
Shit.
is going straight forward. Take your iPhone to work and play more PS4.
Why is the Vita there anymore?
I don't know!
I have often set my phone.
Take your Vita 3G.
Right?
Don't worry.
I have often set my phone like on my keyboard up against my monitor and thought, there's going to be a use for this one day.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, like I have a stand and a Bluetooth keyboard for it, and I'm like, all I need is for Sony to figure out this Gaikai stuff in as much to the point where I can play my PS4 games like this. Because your latencies on 4G LTE can actually end up being lower than a normal Wi-Fi connection, depending on which region you're in. Mm-hmm. So it actually could be more responsive than it would be with the PS Vita TV hooked up to an Ethernet cable, depending on your connection. So yeah, that seems to be like the PlayStation app seems like the most interesting thing they showed off at Tokyo Game Show to me so far, because I know Deep Down's awesome.
Yeah.
It's not out yet. It's not going to be out soon. They haven't said when. So that's sort of like, oh man, this game's really pretty and I'm excited, but this app is going to be out in November. And it's like I can check trophy stuff. I can watch people play their games at work. I can watch you play your PS4 while I'm at work. Granted, you have to authorize.
Right? I was like, I don't know.
Completely.
Watch.
If you buy the gold
Crunchyroll
package, you can spectate people without their knowledge.
No, that's an
are they,
HDMI
GoDaddy?
splitter thing. You got to get an HDMI splitter. Hook one of the HDMIs up to a PS Vita TV, which then broadcasts the signal.
Because honestly, I will admit, when I play a lot of first-person shooters, really any game where I can go into first-person mode, I have this checklist in my head of things I check for, how they did it visually in the game. Stuff like how does fire work, how do they do waves, whether or not cleavage is polygonal or a texture. So many times people have walked into the room and I am zoomed in on some boobs. What are you doing? I'm not even, because you're not going to believe me, so go away.
And now you
So
can
if
invite
you're
the
at work-
internet into your room.
And you jack into my system, and I'm zoomed in on some boobs. This is why.
Sure. I believe you, Aggro.
Like, what's he playing? Netflix? I would also like to watch that. It's like TV with no ads and nothing good's on.
Netflix is like that.
It is when I watch Netflix.
Have you watched House of Cards?
No.
Okay. That ended up being good.
That's what I hear.
Didn't expect that.
Kevin Spacey.
Yeah, Kevin Spacey. For nothing else. Just watch it to watch Kevin Spacey be an asshole.
Shit, like when I first heard about it, it was because I just finished watching The Usual Suspects. And it's like, you should watch this. And it was the trailer for House of Cards. I'm like, huh. I wonder if canonically it's just the same character.
Oh, it's...
Like Kevin Spacey from that is now the same character.
I've
in
never
House of
watched The
Cards.
Usual Suspects. Is that a movie?
Yes,
Okay. I've never watched The Usual Suspects. I'm sorry.
you should be. It's really good.
Through the 90s and early 2000s, my parents subjected me to nothing but the absolute worst movies.
Yeah,
Malibu's Most Wanted. There, I'm done
Nice.
talking.
yeah. I spent the summer after high school with Netflix through the mail, watching every movie I'd never seen.
That seems like a way better system than the streaming because so many movies aren't available via stream. Every time I think, oh man, this movie, I wonder, and then nope, only disc. I should just get the disc version of Netflix.
Yeah, you can get them both. That's how it used to work.
Right?
No way. That's incredible.
It probably is.
How did the discs get to me now?
Weren't they threatening to just not do disc?
They were
A
going
while
to break
ago?
into another company.
Yeah, they
and
were
then
gonna
they split
spin
off.
it.
spin it
Yeah.
off into another company, and then everyone was like, no. And they were like, okay.
Everyone's like, why the fuck? Were you bored? Why are you even talking about this?
No, this is the madness that rules all corporations. It is more valuable for them to spin off this thing that has declining revenue than to continue doing that.
Yes.
Because that makes any sense.
Well, like, we see it a lot in anime distribution where a company goes bankrupt and then Voltrons into 5 companies and dumps all the debt on one of them.
Uh-huh.
Then, like, ADV did that.
Yeah.
And, like, they owed Funimation a lot of money for something. And Funimation, like, I think it was Sentai Filmworks. Funimation tried to collect the ADV debt from Sentai Filmworks. They're like, we don't have it and we're not going to pay it. We're not the same company. Funimation's like, you're clearly the same company. We're going to sue you until you give us the money. Sentai Filmworks is like, American legal system, if Funimation sues us into the ground, they're going to have a monopoly over distribution in the United States. And the courts are like, they're right, fuck off.
How come that works there, but like in none of the absolutely major cases of like, guys, none of these telecom companies are actually competing. You are aware of this, right?
Because when you get to the highest levels of pharmaceuticals, fuels, and telecommunications, that it is seriously straight up 90s conspiracy movie cloak and dagger bullshit.
Mm-hmm. It's just amazing. What were we even talking? So Breath of Fire producer.
Yeah, he's working on a new game that's fantasy themed, and it's the new thing from Capcom.
Cool.
Is it Breath of Fire?
It's an iOS piece of garbage.
Oh.
Everything on iOS is garbage. So saith the Bob.
Maybe it's okay. All right. It's but
Maybe
yeah.
it's irrelevant to Bob and he's hurt. Because he doesn't have an iPhone.
So is it Breath of Fire?
No.
It's okay, Bob. It was probably made for kids.
But
Bob's like, damn it, it was made for kids.
What was-
And iOS. What's going on? iPhone 5, it's made for kids.
the sixth thing here is that they also are making Breath of Fire 6 for more mobile. I guess it's iPhone and Android, I think, on that one. But
Yeah, I think that's right.
It's just like this generic art style and looks nothing like old Breath of Fire.
Yep.
And then they have this guy out there making another thing that's very similar and also just cash in project. It's just weird.
Yeah, actually, that's sort of the thing. Puzzle and Dragons, which I'm not sure if you guys know about, is a gigantic fucking success. Not just in Japan, but abroad. Like, it has made a fuckload of money. And on top of that, Japan is really hard getting into the iOS scene, like super hard in the last year.
Yeah.
So it's a major platform. It's more popular than the 3DS and the Vita. So a lot of these companies are going to start a lot of these developers who we missed. Oh man, isn't this great? We were like, why are you guys making console games? And they're like, because we're making portable games. And now we got the portables. And we're like, why are you guys making portable games? They're like, because we're making iOS games. Why you keep bitching?
4 years
Why
later,
are you
why
just-
aren't you guys making iOS games? We're making games for these tiny cubes you put together to make LCD screens.
Okay,
What?
no one's going to buy those, please.
We've made a game entirely out of pencils and paper.
Why are you guys making iOS games? Because we're making games for the Ouya, which was the most successful platform ever made.
You hear they changed their Kickstarter shit?
Go on.
They released a video where, like, that chick was saying, I can't remember her name, she's just that chick from Ouya.
Julie Ehrman.
Okay.
If I remember correctly.
Where, you know, she's like, we read everything ever, and we hear you loud and clear.
We are Brainiac! Attention, citizens of Earth!
So they're changing
That's a weird Brainiac.
the Kickstarter rules. Like, they lowered it to, you have to hit 15, was it 15,000?
That's still ridiculous. We're a game, but
I think it was 15. With over 100 backers. They dropped like the highest funded one gets the bonus prize. And then they said, also, we're now going to have a board review your game, and if we think you're fucking with us, we're not going to give you any money.
Cool.
Yeah. Now that they're doing it correctly.
Maybe people will come back. I don't know. This is kind of like the Xbox One situation.
The kind of burned bridge.
They fucked up so hard in May that there are 0 pre-orders at Target. And it's $100 more expensive. Which reminds me, I saw a NeoGaf thread where some guy was like, I was in a store. I was in Taco Bell, and I heard some family talking to their kids saying, we can't get you the Xbox One. We have to get you the PS4. We can't afford the Xbox One. I was like, oh shit, I knew they were real, but...
Damn.
Yeah. They're like, $100? Fuck that. I can get you a fucking game and still end up 40 south of that.
Right? That's the thing I see every day.
Yeah. You're like, that's my life. I can't afford an Xbox One. And Bob cries and runs away. We're like, Bob, no. Yeah, so that I was amused by that. Yeah.
Dan was amused by this family not able to afford the things for its child that they wanted to.
I'm amused at the irony that is, sorry, sweetie, we can't get you the worst piece of shit. We'll get you this better thing that costs less.
But Mommy, I want an Xbox One because...
We're sorry you're an irrational piece of shit, but we're stingy pieces of shit.
Mom, I'm like 9. Don't dump this shit on me.
Look, honey.
I've been playing Halo and Call of Duty which, by the way, I'm 9, and you've been letting me play Call of Duty.
Sweetie.
We just bought me Grand Theft Auto.
Mommy, stop drinking at Taco Bell. We talked about this.
No! No! You're grounded to a PS4.
It's what all their friends are playing. All their friends have terrible mothers as well.
Wow. I don't doubt that your mother would say a sentence like that. All of your friends have terrible mothers as well. So yeah, moving on very quickly, Blizzard Auction House removed as of March from Diablo 3 PC Edition.
Right.
Good.
Yep.
Because that affects the drop rates in single player, which is why everyone hated it.
Yeah.
As we have, I think by and large, most people don't have an issue with people being able to buy their way to winning. Whatever. I mean, that's life. Get over it.
Yeah, at least not in a single player game.
Well, I mean, it's multiplayer also.
Well, yeah, but it's directly competitive.
So your guy could go and, just come back after spending $20 and be like, hey, I have this unbelievable shit. Time to win.
Well, I don't know. By and large, people do have a problem with pay to win.
By and large, there's a vocal minority who are very loud about it. I don't think the larger culture really has an issue with that as a concept outside of their realm of experience.
Blind opinions of both of us projecting ideas onto massive populations.
Maybe, but I don't know. As you were just correctly pointing out, this isn't a directly competitive game. Mm-hmm. There are games on that,
I think
for
directly
example,
competitive games do cause a lot of that, like League of Legends. There's definitely a lot of people no, you can just buy that straight to...
I don't think... No, you have to level up to... What is it, 20? 18?
To do what?
What's the level cap?
I don't know, 30? I don't know.
God damn it. You! Be better at this! I had to forget all of my League of Legends shit to keep me from going back. But yeah, you can't buy your way to win in
You can
League
buy
of Legends.
all those runes.
You can't even... There's various layers of being locked off from being... You can't be competitive until you dump a shitload of time into it to get to the level cap anyways. Even so, I'm not sure that what you're saying is correct, but I haven't played League of Legends so long I don't give a shit. So I'm changing the topic to the Tales of game that came out where you could buy levels. Did that somehow ruin your opinion of Tales?
No.
Okay, so there you go. That's what I'm talking about. If it doesn't directly concern him as a player, like it sort of doesn't in Diablo, I'm sure the guy who does that is just perceived as a dick or some weirdo by his friend. Seriously, $20 just to save you some time playing this game that you paid money to play. Okay. I don't think people care. Most people I know and interface with don't care, but... What were we even originally talking? Oh, the auction house. Yeah, people just abhor the auction house for like 99% of them, right? Like the vast majority, because it affects the single player drop rates, which is fucking crazy.
Yep.
Those crazy fucks.
Yep.
So yeah, that's finally getting removed, and that's good. And that's a part of their Loot 2.0 initiative.
Disappointed.
Which is great
Oh
because
my God.
because no, here's the best part. You know that bullshit that companies do where they're like, we need to reinvigorate our workforce, so we come up with a marketing initiative and blah.
Right.
Well, it was that, but then when they started talking to people, they started using those same terms. They're like, yeah, the new Loot 2.0 system. People are like, what? And they're like, oh, I guess this is a public thing. Oh, well, the Loot 2.0, we're revamping all the drop rate things and recalibrating everything, so blah, blah, blah. So it was both the heinous form that is them internally using some bullshit phrase to reinvigorate their workforce, and externally using some bullshit Web 2.0 horseshit.
Yeah, just don't give it a flashy corporate term to you just
Fixing.
fixing the thing you fucked up in the first place. Because, like, this wasn't a balance issue. This wasn't like, oh, holy shit, Shockadins are OP for a couple of patches.
Right.
This was a fuck up.
Yeah. They just, oh man. So yeah, I'm really glad to hear that. Really, really glad.
Yeah, it's like, oh man, the employment rate in the Ukraine has gone up. I'm like, yeah, that's really good for a bunch of people I'll never interact with. The still active player base of Diablo 3.
Yeah, an expansion's coming out next year, apparently.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here it's only one more act.
Heart of the Swarm.
Yeah.
Barbarian versus Zerg Rush. Let's do this.
Diablo 3 already got dumb enough. Why not?
Yeah.
I was still waiting for Tauren Marines to show up in World of Warcraft.
I don't know. If they fix the loot system and they've rekeyed so many other things about the game, I have to wonder, could it be good?
I don't think so.
I don't know. The PS3 one was better than the launch day Diablo 3 in some ways. For example, things dropped. Some of the time.
Did anyone remember to turn loot on? Oh, fuck.
Not only that, but you could play the game.
This is true.
It's very unlike launch day Diablo 3.
Yep.
Okay, next point. I'm going to talk about this. Not sure that you two have interfaced with this element enough to understand it or have a curated opinion on it. Or you could just come in with the guns. And this is what I think about stuff! This is how it applies to that, which is probably
I've got
what
my
this is going to
uninformed
be.
opinion half cocked and ready.
Okay, good. Early access...
He's probably a racist.
Damn.
Gabe Newell?
You are good at this.
No, he's not a racist.
Darn
That
it.
is the old game.
Is this
he's
like
probably
a sexist?
a sexist.
There
Good
we
one,
go.
high five. There we
Well,
go.
Gabe Newell has a penis, so of course he's a sexist.
Of course. He objectifies non-penises.
Darn it, I was supposed to phrase this as a question. This is Jeopardy, right?
Dun, 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 dun,
I hate everything that's going on right now.
Early access games on Steam.
Okay.
I honestly view this as a negative. Like, I think the launch of the game loses impact because of that. I do believe it's slightly... Like, I find it bizarre, because if you're going to sell your game before it's done, I'm perfectly cool, and I think it's, an acceptable format to go to your website and buy it from you, and then when the game comes out, you give me a Steam key. But when I go to Steam and it's listing all these early access games with all the other games that have come out, and they're like, buy the shit that isn't done yet. And then you go to play it, and it's like, oh yeah, we haven't implemented it. Like, for an example, Prison Architect implemented a feature where your prisoners can tunnel out.
Okay.
Now, the way you check to see if they're tunneling is you either search your prisoners, all of them, or you check to see, they said they were adding in something else, some other way to see that. So if you keep checking your prisoners, they're going to get fucking angry and riot. Mm-hmm. The next feature they're putting in is the counterbalance to this feature, which is the watchdogs, which go around and can passively check for the tunnels. So currently, the game in early access is they tunnel out or riot.
So wait. This
Early access games.
thing.
Do you know anything about this?
It sounds like
They're just selling you a beta for slightly discounted prices on Steam. My problem with this comes with it's even further mitigating, like it's continuing the trend of patches of even further mitigating the impact of launch. I dislike that trend. I've always disliked the, oh, hey, the game's out, patch. But even more so than that, the game's out, it doesn't work. Or, hey, the game's out, 6 hours of progress are gone because the save system didn't work.
Right? It's just this thing of we're blurring the line of when the game's fucking done. Because now it's open beta. No, it's just you didn't, god damn it, finish the game and then release it.
And the crazy part is gamers are so zeitgeisty, the second it comes out, you should be playing it. Like, you wait 2 weeks to play a game, you're that guy who's there when everybody's making the, after I finished the game, I thought of this, drew a comic, and it just gets into this weird, because there is a zeitgeist. Like, you can't make a review 2 weeks after launch and it be nearly as important as it was even in the first 2 days. Like, 2 days later, boom, important. So, it sucks, because these are two very, very, they work together to concert that everyone has played the shit version of the game that would have been way better if it was 2 weeks later. Or even now with the early access game, everyone has played the game that wasn't done, and when it finally came out, no one cared.
Yeah, this is why I just stopped playing betas entirely.
Yeah,
especially for MMOs that were coming out. I'm like, I don't want to play the broken version first and then have to replay it.
Yeah.
Right.
I was kind of thinking Freedom
I always
playing
like getting into betas on MMOs just because the beta was free and the full game was far from.
Right.
God, that's something that's always bugged me about the MMOs. Like, just have a free trial, like 5 days, 2 days, something. Just let us touch it.
I think Warcraft did it up to a level.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eventually, that was the system they implemented of, hey, to level 10, we don't give a fuck.
Eventually nothing. Like, right now it's full free to play up to 20. The trial used to be up to 10, but you couldn't use any mail, and you couldn't do this, and you couldn't do this.
Vanilla World of Warcraft wasn't like that, though. That was a thing they came up with later. The trial to a level.
Played the trial on vanilla.
Flips table.
They implemented a free-to-play up to level 20 later.
Wait. Flips table.
Right.
We have two things in our brains that they don't agree. Us saying these things repeatedly to each other isn't gonna... So I flip the table, and we move on. That's what happens when people flip tables, right?
First of all, that's not what a table flip is for. Second of all, I was clarifying because I thought we had a terminology problem here.
No.
Okay.
I don't believe that, like, as I recall the facts and information, because keep in mind, I had Steve, who was constantly trying to find any way to get me in this syringe town. And yeah, I just like the free play to a certain level thing came later from what I think happened. But whatever. I actually don't care about reality because you have to live. Aggro looks around the room slightly mystified, maybe slightly apprehensive. Like, what? What's going on?
Because this is the kind of talk you get right before, like you realize slowly as he keeps talking that there's a bomb somewhere in the room.
But I think I think the early access games. It's when I was talking to my coworker about it. It's kind of like if Walmart, because Steam is the Amazon/Walmart of PC gaming. It is like if you walked into a Walmart, there was a sticker on a box and it said, "Hey, this isn't done yet." And you bought it anyways, and still, like, at the end of the day, you gave them money, you went home with the game, and you experienced something that is going to affect, like, it frames the context for which you enjoy the game through. Like, oh man, I remember when this was in beta and it was shit. Or, hey, they got this work. Like, I fucking played Game Dev Tycoon now that it's finally out on Steam, and I sent them an email to get my fucking code, because, it ended up at a weird email. And they added some features that was like, not sure I like this, question mark. And I kind of expected that same thing from Freedom Planet, but luckily it isn't a larger sim game or it's not a larger anything. So you can, like, the game can be complete piecemeal in beta. So I'm really glad that didn't, like, here's the beta. It's like Sonic 2's beta ROM on the internet where you can't run through the level. Look, you can run up that tree in that really cool 3D circle thing, and then, nothing.
Nice.
You just hit a brick wall and you're done. But yeah, I dislike early access games on Steam. I think it shows a lack of class for the people making the games, and I think long-term it affects the image of their games.
Well, I don't know. I think they're always well labeled. It's not like you can buy it not knowing it's not done.
Enjoy your shit! What?
Yeah.
The funniest one I saw was Giant Bomb did a quick look of God Us, the next Peter Molyneux game that is in that state.
It is an early access game.
There's nothing to do in that game other than expand the land.
So about that,
right?
Yeah.
Like I didn't realize before that they were so not done.
Yeah.
That's
like I mean, from what I hear, quite a few of them are like that. Where it's just like, this isn't... Why are you making people pay for this? This isn't...
Yeah, that should be free.
Well, because they're not selling the game. They're selling the primacy. They're selling the excitement. They're selling the elitist douchebaggery of, well, I played it when it was in this early... Like, I saw this band live in this shitty little venue before they got really popular. Mm-hmm. It's
kind of like that...
And that's sort of the thing. That should be at their website.
Yeah,
because that fits with that.
Mm-hmm.
If you're just some asshole who stumbled into Walmart, threw $20 at someone, and then started feeling elitist, that doesn't work. And I would know. I'm the king of elitism at GigaBoots.com.
Like, just the kind of person who would want to play a clearly not finished build of the game, to me that speaks that you don't care about the game, you just want to play it early.
I mean, to some extent, there are also what we call impatient fucks.
Right.
And on top of that, there is the third crowd, which is a huge crowd. We're talking 80-90% of the people who are actually buying these. They don't fucking understand what a beta is.
Yeah.
So the message board is now full of, this game doesn't work. You guys should take this out. This isn't done. Fuck you guys. How dare you sell me this?
Right.
So many games were like, this is a beta. Like, no, this is just your unbalanced multiplayer. You finished it. You just need some numbers generated.
Yeah. So, yep. That was Dan's rant for the podcast. He does not approve of early access games on Steam.
Let's see.
Sell it on your fucking website. Because Game Dev Tycoon, that was a good feeling. I went in, bought it on the website. They're like, hey, it's done. And it was done. But they added more features down the road, and they gave me a Steam key.
Is Minecraft done? Did they ever finally call that?
1.0. It hit 1.0 like last year or something. But they are still adding features, and it'll never be done because it needs to be 3 times the next best-selling PC game. Which it already is the best-selling PC game of all time, in case you guys didn't know that statistic.
Yeah.
It needs to be 3 times that.
Right.
Oh, one thing I was happy about hearing about Dynasty Warriors Extreme Legends on the PS4.
Uh-huh.
Cross save between PS3 and PS4 and Vita.
Crazy.
Right?
Nice.
Okay, Bob. Now comes the time of the podcast where me and you talk about Freedom Planet.
Freedom Planet.
Freedom Planet.
Freedom Planet.
And you just get to make funny commentary because you have not played Freedom Planet. You know why? You're not as good as us because we're elite in your ism.
See, we paid to get... Wait, what?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Is Freedom Planet a fan fiction-y Sonic the Hedgehog game that takes place in the SADAM continuity?
I presume you're asking if it's that game. Yes.
Oh, seriously?
Have you?
I have no idea what Freedom Planet is.
Oh yeah, actually, yeah.
Oh shit!
Like,
I wasn't prepared for that to be right.
You didn't know?
No. What?
My God! Now,
Jesus Christ! Are you serious?
do you got 10 minutes? You can play that game for like 10 minutes. So when we come back,
Oh yeah.
okay, let's do that.
Oh my God.
So Aggro just got to try a little bit of Freedom Planet.
Yeah, I was completely right, except for the SADAM continuity thing. But at least as far as I'm aware.
As far as you're aware. Oh man, yeah. I just. So here's the deal with this. The reason why we're covering this in the podcast in this separate video file with audio only is because we can't actually show it yet because it's in an early form. So pretty soon we'll have a form they're okay with us showing because it will be completely polished in all of the areas and things like that.
Right.
So Freedom Planet had a Kickstarter. It's succeeded, and they've been developing it for something like 6 months, 8 months, something in that range.
Because if there's anybody still willing to throw money blindly at something that's like, maybe it's like the old Sonic games, it's fucking Sonic fans.
Yeah, the best thing is, to some extent, this is kind of scary territory, and I guess you two, having played Sonic games, you can counter this. I think this is a really nice, better direction to take a Sonic game. Like, maybe it's not all about speed, guys. Maybe the first Sonic didn't have a spin dash, and maybe after we did the marketing of, like, Sonic is nothing but speed, that kind of ruined the franchise. Because, I don't know, like, if you look at Sonic 2 and 3 and Sonic and Knuckles and the games after that, they don't flesh out the characters with multiple mechanics. They all really control the same. And to bring it back to Freedom Planet, that's what I really like about this. Like, the characters play very different. They feel very different. And they have different routes through the levels and the way they tackle things.
Right. When I was playing Mila, I was like, wow, this is what Tails should play like.
I know! Like, that was like, you're better at Tails, at being Tails. No one let Tails know he'll cry.
Sonic and Knuckles in 3 did that a little bit. You know, Knuckles had the wall climbing and Tails could actually fly independently now. Sonic had that weird mid-air flash move that I never used on anything ever.
Right.
It was very useful.
Yeah, like the speed was a great part of the Sonic games. Like all the sections were just, now go through this really fast. Rocking shit.
Right.
But it was, a lot of the quality of Sonic games was in the interesting level design, which this game is doing.
Yeah, I feel like it really cranked it up in that aspect, in the interesting level design aspect, because we've had the Sonic CDs. Where it's just like, that mechanic has ruined this game. The future, past, why does this keep yelling these words at me? Travels to one of the times, I don't even know what this ties into, but I don't want to.
What a horrible night to be in the past.
So, so there are 3 playable characters for anyone who hasn't... Well, actually, the Kickstarter demo only had 2 of them. The third one was added in for this. And holy crap, is the third one adorable. Yes! Oh, sweet lord. Like, there's no scale. Like,
danger levels of Sugoi.
Yes.
It's like those nacho Cheetos bags. They're like,
where the scale
go past the scale. Yeah, it's like that.
We're off the fucking scale.
Oh, it's so cute. My face burns. But yeah, so something for me, like when I play a Sonic game, and it's not just rote memorization here. It's when I play levels I've never played in Sonic games before, because I wasn't huge into completing every game when I was a kid. You can still get through the level pretty fast. Either the game has stopped you, like, it's done. You're done. You're not good enough, and you just lose all your lives in the level, or the level's maybe 2 minutes long. Like, they're pretty short levels in Sonic games. I was stunned by, like, how long each of these levels goes on for. And I didn't
most of them have multiple boss fights.
Yeah, where it's just like, I'm back. Like Aggro was playing a second ago, and he's just running through this casino-esque Chinatown sort of thing. And that saucer comes up and just explodes the ground, and he's like, what am I doing?
I'm like, is this the boss fight? Because it just keeps shooting the ground out. I'm like, where in this rotation is there room for counterattack?
You get to the boss, and the boss is like, I should have used all my laser back there. Now I have to pace this out, allowing for counterattack. Darn it. And yeah, that seems to be a good bit of what's happening there with the bosses. Like, it's like, boom, here's the boss again. And
they have great foreshadowing, like you would see in, I think, was it 3 where they started doing that? Where, like, Robotnik would, like, fly next to you a couple of times on the way down.
Yeah, that sort of thing. And that's always really cool. Like, that's a really cool element to work into a game.
Yeah. And these levels, they have that great mix of, like I was saying, I love the sections in Sonic games where just go really fast through all this shit. But then, you know, like these levels, you stop, look at this, do this area. Okay, now there's this thing. Okay, yeah, go. Good.
Yeah.
Now you can run fast.
That's your reward. That's the treat.
So much verticality. That's what I loved about Sonic games. You could just go back and, like, find the higher path through it or the different path through it.
Yeah, get the power-ups and things, extra lives, stuff like that. Now, if I remember in the Kickstarter demo, I believe it's also in this, but I didn't check. There was that mission mode Like, you remember that extra
Yeah,
level where you,
that's in there. I saw it. I didn't click on it. I didn't try it.
I didn't get to try that either. I plan to dive deeper into the next build, just because that'll be the one we get to show off.
Right. Right now, it'd be like, well, in this one level of the Trials mode, you get to do this. And that was interesting, right?
It was cool, because I had to jump really high over this thing and make it in time.
So high.
It was so high. Yeah, this team, like, oh man, I'm so happy. The person who did the soundtrack for Bunny Must Die in the U.S., and then also did the U.S. version of a couple of the Gundamanium games, I believe. I know at least Hidegata Happa. Her name's Woofle, and she's actually doing she's the main composer for this. She's remixing, because there's another composer, but she's composing her own tracks, and she's remixing the other composer's stuff too. So it's going to be basically her broad stroke over the whole soundtrack, and I love that soundtrack. Like, it's so good already. I'm like, oh God, I'm going to buy this just to get to this music.
Yeah, I feel really bad. I forgot to support this Kickstarter. I saw it going, and I was like, it's going to...
We're not supposed to talk about that, because I did too.
I'd never heard of it. But apparently
we're terrible human beings.
Had this prophecy seeded in my brain.
As you sat atop
It is the one that must come
your
at this
meditation
time.
chamber. You foresaw it.
That's what it says on the door.
How 20XD3. That was a pretty good guess. That it was 13. You're like, this Kickstarter thing.
How, any ETA on the release date?
I believe they said March.
Okay.
Yeah, March. And I'm like, wow. Wow. I don't know. Like,
they get a cease and desist from the Sonic team.
how many Kickstarters do actually have a year turnaround on their game? Like 1 year turnaround? Because I believe this thing was Kickstarted in about March. If
that checks out.
Yeah, that checks out.
It's an older Kickstarter, sir, but it checks out.
Yeah, no, 1 year turnaround on what is blatantly a polished thing. Like, this is so polished even in early playable form.
How is it different each character? Are they adding more, or is that it?
I think 3 of them is it.
That's plenty.
And also Mega Man.
And also, oh man, what's his name? Beck. And also Beck.
And Shantae.
Inafune. Did you know that Mighty Number 9 is actually being made by Inti Creates, as well as Concept, and Inti Creates is working on the new Shantae game that is being kickstarted. Inti Creates made Mega Man 0 and Mega Man 9 and 10 and other Mega Man things. So it's just really funny that they're like, we're in every Kickstarter. Here, Freedom Planet, let's just work out this level for you.
Long ass video where he's like, I wanted to make like a new hero who had like, he carried on the spirit of I'm making a Mega Man game, all right?
So double canon. But yeah, so I'm just, this is as excited as I am for Mighty Number 9, which I am. I'm really excited as a Mega Man fan.
Is it Mighty Number 9 or is it just Mighty 9?
No, it's Mighty Number 9.
Okay.
Yeah. Because you got to have the double N and alliteration going on there. The Mighty Number 9. I do want a really bad 90s cartoon theme song to go with this.
Totally.
Mighty Number 9. I don't know.
Yeah.
Freedom Planet doesn't work out because that seems like one of those theme songs where you're like, I love the cartoon, but I got to deal with this gay theme, and it's just like Freedom Planet.
No, I don't know. You got to go back to Saddam, where it's like Blue Streak speeds by. Some of that fucking shit in there. Like cuts in and he plays the electric guitar for like way too goddamn long. I don't know why they animated it that long. He's not even playing a song. He's just like fucking jamming that thing.
This man may have played the guitar before making this intro. Perhaps. But yeah, I forgot to throw money at the Kickstarter too. I wonder if we can just send the guy who's making it, like, here.
A lot of Kickstarters do that.
That is
like
true.
slacker backers.
Slacker backers.
That's what they call them.
That's nice. That's nice. I like that.
Yeah, a lot of Kickstarters even like, oh, too late, but here, give us some money and you still get these rewards.
Yeah, I thought Skullgirl was doing that for a little while.
Yeah. So the interesting thing Bob and I thought was absolutely stupefying. It is made in Multimedia Fusion 2.
I was gonna ask if they were still using that.
As far as I know, they're still using that. They brought.
Jesus.
They brought. I know. Whoa!
Geniuses, I guess.
Fucking wizards over there. Because I used Multimedia Fusion 1, and unless 2 is like Super Saiyan 2 compared to 1, which is just normal Gohan.
So, Media Fusion 2, it's just a little spikier and a couple shades lighter.
But it can punch once, and all the features explode out onto the game. It's that cool.
You see, those features were able to beat up all of the features in the previous version. Like, individually, they could take all of them.
Now, Media Fusion 3 is going to be able to scream really loud and tear holes in dimensions.
Yes.
That was the plan.
Yes.
Awesome.
Hi. Hi.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi.
In any case, I forgot what I was saying. Yeah, from what I understand, Sarah Jaylene from Rocket Android, she used to work, still works, at Rocket Android on the Gundamonium collection, Bunny Must Die, and multiple other things. She's been brought on to do the Steam support stuff. So it's still made in Multimedia Fusion as far as I know. Unless maybe he, did something crazy.
Right.
And she's working on the Steam support stuff. I'm really interested in whether or not this is going to end up on any other platform, because I would love to buy it again on the Vita.
Right.
I would throw so much money at them to bring it to the Vita.
I know that the Multimedia Fusion whole thing is, it instantly ports to like 3 different things.
Are any of those things relevant? Android.
Yeah, Android,
Engage.
iPhone, and
Engage.
And
from what I understand,
Xbox Live Indie Arcade,
The
which
Game Boy Color
is no longer relevant.
yeah, as I understand it, though, that support still isn't fully baked in for one or both of those.
Really?
Because I think I read something from the guy who's working on this game talking about how he wishes they would finish something.
Jeez.
But I could be wrong. Whatever. Now, another interesting tidbit from what I read, there's actually a really good interview about this on Indie Static. Just Google Indie Static. Instead of a C, put a K. And they did an interview with the people who made Freedom Planet. Apparently, this is a Sonic Physics-esque engine that he's licensed.
Whoa.
Yeah, so this is an interesting layer. If he just has the gameplay design chops, and he's like, yeah, if I could just take that engine, I can make something else entirely out of this instead of just, a stock Sonic game. And he's done a really bang-up job of that. Like, that's a really cool thing that somebody else out there is like, here's this Sonic-esque physics engine. Who wants it? I'm interested in looking more into that. But yeah, that's really freaking neat. Like, that's cool. And I would sit here and be like, Sony would probably port this to the PS3 and Vita themselves if you throw it their direction and get enough hype behind it. And they probably would. But I know there are people on the staff who have been burned by Sony with that exact procedure. So maybe I won't recommend that. On a highly related note, the Gundamonium collection on PS3 is totally the best version.
This is interesting timing, Ben. So when is that real Sonic game coming out?
What do you mean? Freedom Planet or like...
No,
the Lost World.
You mean the Lost World?
Yeah.
That is coming out
this holiday season sometime. It's October,
because
November.
not since what I think 2K6 has it been like, maybe this will be the Sonic game that isn't terrible.
They tried to engender that with Generations.
They tried really hard, and there are Sonic fans that bit and will swear by that.
Yeah.
I'm not one
and
of
then
them.
there are Sonic fans that, Sonic Colors was okay.
Mm-hmm. A lot of the same group, from what I've seen, who are like, Sonic Colors was all right, so it wasn't
you
real.
can't trust Sonic fans because,
I can't.
They will lie.
Much like I was a Mega Man fan, like huge Mega Man fan all throughout the 80s and 90s. And I had to drop that at some point. I was also a huge Sonic fan, like unbelievably huge, and I just had to drop that at some point. And I was a huge Castlevania fan, but I just had to drop that at some point. And now I'm seeing Mighty Number 9 and Freedom Planet. I'm like, who's making the Castlevania game? Where's that at?
Urash is like, I'm busy.
I'm busy. I see boobs. Are you making an iOS dating sim?
maybe.
Igarashi,
Yes,
go
but-
home and hurt no more.
No, but now it's in space, and you field strip a dog.
Innovation.
Guys, I don't think my dog's working over here. Well, did you turn it off?
Have you tried buying her a present and remembering her birthday?
Wow. And then go to the bar to add charisma points
Yes.
via drinking beer.
I know exactly what game you're talking about, and you should be ashamed.
You should not. That was the best dating sim. It's not like I'm sitting here talking about Super Mahjong Plus.
So about
And
Super
I'm not
Mahjong.
doing. No, we are
No.
not talking. No. The Mahjong game where you show it to someone and they go, "What is this even?" But yeah, I'm really excited for this game. I really can't wait for that press build. I'm like,
Yeah.
I need that. I need to do videos of this talking about it. Won't
For some
get it
reason,
out
the
of my
game
system.
reminded me of the Pirates of Dark Water game on the Genesis.
I've never played that. I didn't know that was the thing.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's nothing like that. It just reminded me of it.
On a somewhat completely irrelevant point, you know that Retron 5 thing?
Nope.
No? Neither of you? It has cartridge slots for all these different consoles, and you can stick the cartridges and play
I've
it
seen
on one. It
pictures
has
of such a
HDMI
device.
up. It's emulated. And from what some people are saying, it is like the whole thing's emulated. You're just literally putting a ROM in it. That's a cartridge instead of a ROM file. And from what some people are saying, it's an Android console.
Huh.
So that could have terrible implications on the authenticity of the emulation and various other things.
Yep.
I can't wait for that to come out. Because when it was first announced, someone was like, "Hey, Dan, check this out." And I'm like, yeah, that's neat. I got all of that shit right over there. I'm covered, but it has HDMI output. It didn't look like that in the first place. I'm trying to cover the game, not what you have done to the game. But whatever. Whatever. I digress. So, closing comments on Freedom Planet. How excited are you, Bob?
I'm pretty excited.
You?
It's got a green character that when you hit down and jump, she leaps around on all fours.
Cutely. Yeah,
Holy shit.
It was just, God, that was amazing.
You didn't even get to the best part of that character. You
yeah?
get little
Motorcycle.
tanks of gas, and they turn into motorcycles, and you drive around the motorcycle.
And the motorcycle
That's
can
amazing.
drive up walls.
And
How have we not had this game
up
before
ladders.
Oh, yeah, and up ladders. Just turns
now?
on
What
side.
the shit?
It's amazing. It is hilarious and amazing and unbelievably cute. And I'm really glad we're getting a game that is not only well designed, but not trying to be weirdly sexy cute like a lot of the Way Forward stuff with the Mighty Switch Force things. Like not going for that and not going for just plain cool. But I'm like, here's the thing. I'm not dissing those. I'm just saying I'm really glad that something's just going for cute cool.
Now,
It's
Dan,
just
I
cute
know
cool.
that when you look at these character designs, think that's not meant to be sexy at all. Dan,
Oh yeah, I know. Let's not
come
get
a
into
lot
it.
closer to Sonic's fan base, maybe, than you.
I just want to sit out here at this ring of being a Sonic fan back in the day. I don't want to.
How big of a Sonic fan are you? I really liked 1, 2, 3 and Knuckles, and then I didn't really play anything past that. Why? How big of a Sonic fan are you?
Well, have you ever Googled
Well, I
Sonic
have this
the
T-shirt
Hedgehog
of a slutty
2
bat.
cheat codes? And that'll be it for the GigaBoots podcast. Thanks for joining us. I've done that every episode so far, right? Right?
I really kind of zone out by the end.
Usually it just cuts off on some.
No way.
Yeah.
No way. I do that every time. That's my thing.
That's your thing?
You guys,
I don't think that's your thing.
no.
It's not your thing.
What is my thing?
Usually I say something highly offensive and then cut it off.
I thought that was him.
Well,
No.
you kind of share the duty.
Yeah, I say the offensive thing and then you cut it off.
So my thing is cutting it off?
Yes.
That seems incredibly dumb.